All right, let's talk some Tua for a second. And I mean, listen, so one thing that's interesting is every time I make a video on Tua, it seems like Tua fans get very angry at me. Listen, there's a lot I like about Tua. And I think even in this game, there was a lot to like about Tua. There's some issues as well. I think it's fair to talk about both. I think you can still criticize a young quarterback without saying that you think that they're a bust and they're garbage and you should just move on from them. My stance on Tua is I do think you should give him another year, give him time to prepare, but I also think that there's some issues. I think that you can say both things. I don't think that's crazy to say. It's funny. I hear them calling themselves Tuanon, the Tua believers, which I think is funny. And so Tuanon might not love everything I say in this video, but you'll probably like a lot. There's still a lot of good with Tua. There was some bad, and there's some mistakes he has to clean up if the Dolphins are going to, make the playoffs, which with 3 games left, there's a very real chance they can do that. They win out, they're probably in, but it's going to be a little bit tough. And anyways, let's just get into the film and talk about the good. There was plenty of good, and let's talk about the bad. There was plenty of bad. I mean, if you're a PFF fan, they had this graded as Tua's worst game of his career. I don't think it was that bad. I think that there was actually a good amount of good in this one, but there were some mistakes as well. So, yeah, let's get into it. All right, let's start off with this one. This is just going to be a fantastic throw, where what's going to happen on this play is it's going to be quarters coverage, and you have a receiver who's going to run a route that's basically going to try to split in between the corner and the safety who are deep in that area of the field. That's what he's trying to do right here, and really watch the throw from Tua. As you see, he's going to take this snap, and you're going to see just a beauty right here, perfectly accurate. Again, a lot of people like to talk about the Tua arm strength thing. I'm even going to get into it in this video a little bit. But there's a lot of deep balls where, quite frankly, you don't need a huge arm to be able to get it down the field. He can still push the ball down the field far. Maybe, okay, would Justin Herbert have gotten it there faster? Sure, but would he have gotten it there more accurate? It's impossible because that was as accurate as you could want. Like, Tua does make some incredible throws from time to time. He can be, his highlights are great. They really are. Like, here's some more positives from this game where you're going to see Tua. I mean, that's again, accurate throw, perfect window where, not a huge window, but a big enough window that he can fit it through. That's a tough throw and he's making it. This one, another very similar example. He can do this stuff pretty consistently, especially that over the middle stuff. I think here's another one similar to that last one. Just a beautiful throw. And then finally, this one's more so just fun. Before we get into some negatives, we're just going to see him end up running over a guy who looked like he was ready for Tua to slide and he didn't. That was fun. But listen, there's some negatives as well. We should talk about those. So let's start off with this first interception here. I didn't think this one was that bad. Okay, it's not great. Throwing an interception is never good, but still, in the term of, interceptions, in the range of interceptions where it is the quarterback's fault, this one not necessarily the worst, I think, although let's just break down the play. So it's quarters coverage that the Jets are in. They played a lot of cover 2 and quarters coverage in this one, and what the Dolphins are doing is you see it's a concept that's designed to beat zone coverage. This is a good concept. Typically, the route you want to throw to is going to be the route that's, sort of in the middle of the field. Devontae Parker's route, that's the one that Tua is going to try and hit. And watch how when this play begins, there's a play action, and you see there is a window, but it's not a big one. This is a tough throw to make, and Tua is basically just going to try and see if he can thread the needle here and make a perfect throw. Instead, his throw it's really just a tad high. It looks way high from this angle, but when you see kind of different angles, it can actually, it's misleading, I think, the angle that you see. So it's not a horrible throw. It's a bit high, it is, and you can't miss those throws when you're throwing it that way. So you could argue not the best decision because it's a tough window, but at the same time, in the NFL, there's tight windows. It happens, I guess is my point. So negative, yes. Bad play, also yes. Is it a disaster? Not really. I think that if this was his only mistake of the game, we'd be talking about it as a pretty great game. There's also something like this that I think is more concerning. And listen, Dolphins fans are going to get mad at me. So be it. I don't think I can honestly give my opinions about Tua without Dolphins fans getting mad at me. So I'll deal with the angry comments. It is what it is, because I got to be honest, on a play like this kind of shows off that, kind of the difference between someone like him and someone like Justin Herbert, and just the arm talent difference, right? Because Tua, really smart guy, for the most part, makes really smart decisions, make the occasional dumb decisions, so will every young quarterback, but for, you know, his age, certainly very smart guy. But anyways, let's talk about the play itself. Again, it's going to be it's cover 2 this time for the Jets, and what they do is they have you know, again, it's kind of similar to the last play where you basically want to have someone running shallow, someone running deep, and someone running over the middle, and there's only 2 New York Jets who are all the way over to the left who can actually cover, you know, those 3 guys, so someone should get open. Watch how when Tua takes the snap and runs this play action, you're going to see right here, I mean, this is wide open. I also want to be clear, this is a hard throw to make. Like, this is a difficult throw. Tua's at his own 20-yard line, where he's going to have to actually throw the ball. Is going to be, you know, probably you would want it closer to your opponent's 30, so we're talking a good 50 yards down the field would be ideally where you want to have him throw it. And he is a bit off balance, although he has time to set his feet, so it's not like he's completely off balance, but still, it's a difficult throw to make. I'm not trying to say it isn't, but you do have a wide open player, and I guess my main point is Justin Herbert gets a touchdown on this play. However, Tua's going to just, I mean, the throw just doesn't get there in time. It's not even underthrown that massively. It hangs up in the air for a while, and I would still say is, you know, a bit underthrown because there wasn't really safety help over the top. So that's a throw I would have liked to see Tua make, quite frankly. That's a completion I would have liked to see happen. And this is the concern about Tua, is there are these plays where they're high degree of difficulty plays that he cannot make consistently. That's just the reality of Tua. The positive of Tua is he can make the low degree of difficulty level plays 100% of the time, whereas most guys can't. That's the positive. But, like, you know, I would like to see him make that play. I would. There has been some comparisons, and no, I'm not kidding. There have been some comparisons with Tua and Tom Brady of, well, they both just sort of methodically moved down the field and moved their offense. The difference is Tom Brady does make that throw. Like, that is the difference between the two guys. But again, there's lots to like about Tua, but I still see this stuff on tape. It's concerning to me. If you don't find it concerning, cool. We just disagree, but that's how I view it. So sorry, Tuanon. The flip side is, I should mention stuff like this. Part of what's gone wrong for the Dolphins, and what went wrong for the Dolphins in this game, I should say, is guys weren't getting open. And that's just going to make every quarterback look worse. I guess I shouldn't say they weren't getting open, but they weren't getting open consistently, and when they weren't getting open, Tua was having a hard time. Like, I think that's fair to say. On this play, it's man coverage. You see the route he wants to throw to. It's a good route against this coverage. I understand the logic behind it. But right when this play begins, for Tua, you see it's not really open. And for Tua, what do? I mean, no one's really open, so what are you going to do here? You could throw it away, and I think some people would say he should have thrown it away, but at the same time, I understand why you want to make these throws. If you throw it away every time there's no separation, then you're not going to move the ball very far, in this game at least. And this is also kind of the criticism people have given of Tua in the past, was he wouldn't throw it to guys who aren't very open and let them make a play. So now he is doing that. So look, Tua makes the throw, it gets tipped up, somehow ends up getting caught there, so that was kind of funny. You could argue that's a bad play, of like, hey, don't take that chance. I don't know. I think, to me, that kind of goes to show it's more of an offensive failures by the Dolphins as a whole than it is just Tua himself, which is, I think, a very necessary component of this game. So, you know, again, people are going to say I'm too harsh on Tua. There's a lot of reasons why this Dolphins team has struggled. Tua has not been a bad quarterback by any means. I worry about his ceiling a little bit, but a lot of the issues are outside of his control. And of course, we have to talk about this one, which this just can't happen. There's a few minutes left in the game. You're up 7 points. This is the one thing you can't do in this situation. It's inexcusable. So what's worth noting is this is quarters coverage again for the Jets, but what's worth noting about it is the corners for the Jets have done an interesting thing they've done is their corners have been biting in a lot this game. You notice this throughout the game. They're coming in, they're trying to jump routes. Like, it was very noticeable watching the tape. It's something that the Dolphins should have noticed. You can blame the coaching staff if you want to, but if you're going to make a throw like this, where you see it on the screen, that's the route he wants to throw to, you have to be very careful, especially in this situation, because it's dangerous. Right when this play begins, so you look at Tua, and you see a corner again. He's in position to try and jump the route. This is what the Jets have been doing. I'd be more forgiving of Tua for making this throw had it been a situation like this is the first play of the game or something. But given the fact that throughout the game, the Jets corners have been doing this, and Tua still is, you know, not going to notice this, to me, that's where I say, okay, that's a mistake. That just can't happen. And also, he doesn't get it there in time. I mean, look, he just lollipops that one. That's not a throw. Like, you have to get it there in a bullet. You can't just sort of lob that one up there. I mean, he was asking for that to get pick sixth. it happens. Like, those plays do happen, but you don't want them to happen. That's a huge mistake that really, if you're going to win too many games, can't happen. Again, I'm sure the Dolphins fans in the chat will say, no, Jackson, it was actually a good decision to throw this pick six. Tua's just, galaxy brain here, and you don't understand the genius of him. But no, that's not a good decision. I'm sorry, it isn't. Wasn't a good decision, wasn't a good throw. So yeah, that's really what I thought about it. Is like, there's a couple mistakes that just can't happen, and I'm sorry, I'm concerned about the arm strength. I know you guys, Tua fans, don't think that that's a concern. They think it's fine. I don't know. It concerns me a little. I guess we'll have to agree to disagree on this. Like, every quarterback has some issue with them. That's my issue with Tua. So be it. I still think Tua can be great. I think Tua has great potential and has been pretty good this season. I think he has been, good. Just like he's been a good quarterback this year, but there's still some issues. So that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.